introduction and to welcome all of you to the 1-month retreat. Yeah, I know people are pretty excited about it, and it's a wonderful opportunity because so often in our lives we are very busy, we're running around, jackets off, and we're running around, you too. We're running around and don't have much time to really watch our mind. And so this is a wonderful opportunity to slow down and, do some purification, accumulation of merit. And we have one study session in the schedules. You have time to study and review. And you also have your break times where you can study if you want to. I advise during the break times and see if you can get some exercise, because that's very, very helpful, or do yoga or something. Your chores, washing the dishes, cleaning up, that gets you going, because some people have the tendency in retreat of like, okay, I'm going to do the sessions, plus I'm going to meditate all during the break times. And that's a bit too much, yeah? So, we have the schedule laid out. Do the schedule. Don't miss sessions, because if you miss sessions, then you're defeating the purpose that you came here for, yeah? And, of course, if somebody's sick, and you're contagious, then stay in your room or whatever. But aside from that, really come to the hall, because if something hurts or, you don't feel well, it's still going to hurt wherever you sit. And you're still not going to feel well wherever you are, So unless it's something where you can, staying in your room would really help you, then, make the effort to come here. Especially because if you're doing the counting 111,111, then you have the Nundro commitment, then you have to do one session every day. If you miss a session, or if you miss a day, then you have to start your counting all over again. Okay? Now, to talk about the counting. Everybody obsesses about it. You'll probably spend the first week calculating and recalculating how long it's going to take you to do, the people who are staying all 3 months, 111,111. And you will get frantic, and I won't make it, and everybody else will be done. And meanwhile, your body is sitting here in meditative position. Your mind is in anxiety. Yeah, don't do that to yourself, okay? We're actually going to make the counting part a little bit easier. Lama Yeshe, when we did it back in the old days, he said if you could only count full malas, and so if the session ended, unless you stayed to do it longer, you had to forsake, all those mantras that you said that are not going to count toward your 100,000. And even if you got up in the middle to go to the bathroom, that session was, forget it, okay? So here, similarly, with going to the bathroom, don't count anything for the mantra, for that session. So it really gets us in the habit of going to the bathroom before the session. It's like a good habit. And I remember when I did it, it was a Tushita, in the old Tushita before they made it, revamped it. And the cook would, every few days, he would make this kind of porridge that, was mostly water, and almost everybody had to run to the bathroom in the middle of the session. So that started a great discussion with the cook. And the retreat leader and the cook, were screaming at each other, which was very beneficial for having a peaceful retreat, of course. And we're not making that kind of cereal here, but just, watch how much you drink. Make sure you drink enough, of course. Okay. But what we're going to do about the counting is our friends in Singapore, and you should really dedicate for their well-being, because this is going to save you. They donated all these clickers for counting mantra, so that you will distribute them. You can use them if you're in the process, if you're going to count the mantra. If you're not counting mantra, don't take one. But when you leave, in order to get your cell phone back, you have to return the clicker. Okay. No clicker, no cell phone. So, because these are very hard to get, we carried them all the way back from Singapore, and that heavy luggage. Yeah. Okay, so what you can do is you can just use it and click every time you do a mantra. So that way, if you don't finish a whole mala, you can still count the ones that you did. Okay, because I know you're all doing this for the right motivation. You're not worried about counting and fulfilling numbers. You're just dedicated for bodhicitta. But in case you get anxious about the numbers, this will fix it. Okay? The thing you have to do is be careful not to press the reset button. Okay? So I'm assuming if we hear somebody scream in the middle of the retreat, it's because they did that. Yes?
That's exactly what I was
What you were going to say.
Which one is the reset button?
I don't know. You have to figure that. The little one? So the big one is the one you press to count your mantra, and the little one is to reset it. So what you might want to do is have a piece of paper and a pen, so that after each session you write the number down that you've reached, just in case. Okay, so I know I'm going into all this extremely important stuff before retreat, because if you this is I've gotten many people into retreats, and this is the big anxiety thing. Okay, so this hopefully will relieve your anxiety. Yes? Yes. Because otherwise you'll spend your break time 2, 4, 6, counting each bead. Yes, another important question.
What happens if you don't finish?
Then you continue after the retreat is done. And you don't miss a day. Yeah, if you miss a day, you have to start all over. So if you don't finish, you just continue. Okay, how long did it take you to finish?
10 months.
10 months, okay. So it's possible. Yeah, but you can't go on vacation or go somewhere else. Yeah, for the people at the Abbey during that time. Yes.
If someone is sick and they need to do at least one session today, does it have to be a session on their cushion?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Unless you're coughing and sneezing and you're going to make everybody sick, in which case do the session in your room. But aside from coughing and sneezing and being contagious, even if you don't feel well, you have to be here for one session. Okay. Then the Vajrasattva meditation, the one here that you have, there's an adjustment to the paragraph called Visualizing Vajrasattva. Did you reprint that for people? Not yet. Okay. So that part will be reprinted because we wound up having 2 paragraphs and that were supposed to be integrated into one. So we'll reprint it so that you can have that. Also, those of you who are have the sadhana on a tablet, then we can put out a thumb drive and you can just copy it on a tablet. If you prefer, you can also do the shorter Vajrasattva sadhana that's in the red book. Okay, some people like doing long sadhanas with offerings and a lot of visualization. Some people like to just focus on the essentials. So you can do whichever one that you wish. It's all the same. Okay. What else? Your break time is really important because what you do in the break time influences how your sessions are. Yeah. So during your break time, like I was saying, take walks, look far distances. It isn't always look on the other side of the fog, okay? But really stretch your mind. At nighttime, if you can see the stars, look at the stars. We chose this land specifically because there's so many good views, and being able to look far distances is very important when you're doing meditation. It keeps your mind open and broad, yeah, and it protects you from getting too like this, yeah, because sometimes people, focus so much inward that they just, everything starts revolving around them. Yeah, and we already have so much self-centeredness. We don't need to add more to it. Okay, but what I like to do is I look in the sky, whether I can see the stars or not. I think of how many sentient beings are out there. Countless sentient beings are out there, and they all have their own experience, and they all want to be happy, and they all don't want to suffer. Yeah, and I'm doing this retreat with the bodhicitta motivation, so I want to be able to benefit all of them. And when I look long distances, it really helps to bring that home and extend the mind. Yeah, because it's very easy when you're doing retreat, all sorts of distractions come. Our distractions are usually surprise about me, I, my, and mine. That's what we get distracted about. And then we ruminate. We go round and around in circles about, this happened to me when I was little. And when my Vajrasattva retreat, I realized I was still angry with my 2nd grade teacher because she wouldn't let me be in the class play. Then I was analyzing my relationships with all my boyfriends. I analyzed my relationship with my parents and got so confused and, da-da-da-da-da. And once in a while, I got distracted and thought of Vajrasattva. Okay? So don't do this. Try to avoid it. There's a tendency to just focus on me and my lives, and people don't love me enough, and I've been abused, and everything in my life is falling apart, and people shame me, and why do they shame me? They shouldn't. I'm worthwhile, but I don't feel like I'm worthwhile. All this crazy stuff that we talked about last night, that is wrong consciousness. Yeah, wrong consciousness. Repeat, wrong consciousness. Repeat, wrong consciousness. Okay. all this self-talk about how we aren't worthy and we can't do it and the goal is too high. And anyway, I'm just little old me, and my big brother was always better than me, and my little sister, was better. Yeah, so that's what happens. Okay? And so don't let your mind go there like that in retreat. Okay? Look in the sky. Think of all the sentient beings. Look at the turkeys. Look at the birds. Look at the deer. Yeah, we have a dog that visits us now. Yeah, don't feed him, by the way. But just think, what would it be like to have that kind of rebirth? Yeah, if I had that kind of rebirth, no way could I do a purification retreat. No way. I'd be flying around like the little birds looking for food all day. I'd be like the turkeys. Boy, are the turkeys a good teacher. Yeah, talk about anxiety, and fear. So, just think, if I had that kind of rebirth, I wouldn't have the possibility I have now. How fortunate I am. Okay, there are problems in my life, but the problems in my life are nothing like the suffering that these beings born in the lower realms have. Yeah, so it's true, the cats they can sleep all day curled up on top of the heater, and we can't. Yeah, and you're sitting in a hall that's either too hot for you or too cold for you. It will never be the right temperature, I'll tell you that already. And you're longing to sit curled up on a heater in a nice, soft, easy chair or on a sofa and put your feet up, just like the cats. But think about it. Do you want to be born like a cat, where that's the epitome of how you use your intelligence, is to be able to find a heater to sit on? We have a human intelligence. We need to use it. Yeah, and just spinning around, all my problems, all my inadequacies, that's not using our human intelligence. Even the cats and the turkeys and the birds don't do that. Yeah. So really try and release this self-centeredness on me, I, my, and mine. It comes up. Yeah. Notice the habits that you have, the mental habits that you have, and apply the antidotes to them. Don't just sit and ruminate about this kind of rubbish. Okay? So if you are short on antidotes, we have that booklet with the antidotes for the different afflictions. You used to put it out. Yeah. Also, read Don't Believe Everything You Think. Read Good Karma. Read Transforming Adversity into Joy and Courage. Yeah. Read those books. They're all thought training books. And if you follow the teachings in them and meditate on them, whatever problem is going on in your mind, you can remedy. Okay? So, it requires some preparation, and it requires some learning to know how to work with your mind. Okay? And then, learn the teachings about concentration. They're going to be in, which volume? Volume 4, but Volume 4 is not going to be out until October. But there's many other books. There's Genlam Rinpoche's book. Yeah, and most Lam Rim books have sections about developing concentration. So that is also very helpful. Okay. Yeah, so the main thing is have a happy mind when you're doing retreat. Think of your potential. Think of your fortune. Yeah, and remember that you're doing this for all sentient beings. And so if you really pay attention to that bodhicitta motivation in the beginning, and remind yourself again and again, I'm doing this to purify my mind for the benefit of all sentient beings. Then, if your mind gets distracted in a really dysfunctional way, then it's just, okay, I've got to come back to why I'm here. Yeah, I'm doing this to purify my mind, to progress on the path, to be able to benefit sentient beings. Yeah, so I have some commitment, I have some responsibility. Yeah, I'm not sitting here on this cushion so that I can have a peak experience and a far out experience that then I can go brag about to all my friends. Okay, that's not why we're here. Yeah. Of course, wouldn't it be nice? Yeah. It's like, oh, there's Vajrasattva, real in Technicolor. There he is, and he's talking to me, and he's looking at me, and this is wonderful. I'm special. As soon as we think I'm special, okay? So, don't judge your meditations as good or bad. Just do them. Okay? Just do them. Yeah? Sometimes you have what we call good meditations, meaning maybe you can concentrate better, or your visualization was clear, or you really had a feeling of compassion, or you had some feeling for emptiness. That's great. When you have that, rejoice. Don't expect it to happen the next session. If it does, good, but don't try and recreate an experience you had. Okay, remember, all functioning things are impermanent. Yeah? So until we attain, higher stages on the path, then, just be happy doing your practice. That's all. Yeah. I tell people, be happy accumulating the causes. Don't be stuck on when's the result going to come. Yeah, just accumulate the causes. If you have a happy mind accumulating the causes, then the happy result comes and you're not going to be stressed out about it. If you're expecting some far out result and you're anxiously waiting for it, that itself is going to put, obstacles in your path. Yeah, so just, Vajrasattva is your best friend. So make friends with Vajrasattva. Yeah, you can't have a better friend than the Buddha. So Vajrasattva is not your enemy. Yeah, he's not trying to show you all your faults. He's trying to help you. So really take refuge and develop that friendship. So that's just a little bit of introduction to the retreat. During the retreat, I'll be giving talks twice a week, the BBC talks. We were counting on people coming to the retreat, having studied the sadhana before, read commentaries about it. If you haven't done that, we can put the books out on the table, but the books must not go to your room, because if they go to one person's room, then everybody else is denied. Okay? Do we have videos of Vajrasattva? Yes, we must have audios or something. Huh? Yeah, so we have audio things of Vajrasattva. We have the question and answer things that will be put out on one of the dining room tables. Huh?
In the study.
In the Kuan Yin room. Okay. Yeah. And so, if you need to really study the sadhana and all, look there. We've done the 3-month retreat 2 times before at the Abbey in the early years. It was really quite wonderful. People had a very good experience. And so we have Q&A sessions from that. You can see the kind of questions that they asked, which might be very similar to the ones you have too. Okay.